I've been wanting to try this camera and lens for a period of time, ever since I reviewed the OM5 Mark II, because that was more of a budget-friendly micro Four Thirds camera, but I really enjoyed the experience, and I always wondered what a flagship camera like this would be like, capturing faster action, a little bit of animals, outdoors, low light performance, subject detection. How would this perform? Gotta tell you, this is impressive. Let's talk about it. Just quick specs on the camera, don't want to go too much into it. It's a 20 megapixel stacked BSI sensor inside of this, so very fast readout, 50 frames per second, continuous autofocus, and you can go up to 120 frames per second with, locked autofocus on that. So it's a very, very fast camera. Outside of that, though, up to 8.5 stops of image stabilization, very good ISO performance. You have all the subject detections, bird, plane, train, animals, people, it's all inside here. More updated menu system, so it's very easy to use, kind of similar to what the OM5 Mark II was. Obviously weather resistant, weatherproof, but it's very compact, and the EVF is gorgeous at 5.76 million dot with 120 hertz refresh rate on it. So you're getting flagship specs in a body like this, and price point wise is around 2,000 plus USD, so it's very attractive for a lot of people out there. But it's the lenses that get pricey on this, especially when you get into these more pro lenses. Anyway, let's talk about how I use this camera, because I took it to two scenarios. One, to the zoo, obviously trying out this, but also I took it to Chinatown at night during Lunar New Year celebrations where it was very crowded, and it probably should have taken the 12 to 40, to be honest with you, but I want to try this at 2.8, and let's talk about that experience now. So let's just say this, a 50 to 200, 2.8, which is equivalent to a 100 to 400 in full frame focal length, isn't the most ideal lens to take out to where I took it. So a lot of these images you're going to be seeing are very close up. There's a lot of isolation on the people that I was taking photos of and the subjects. But I wanted to try what it was like in a scenario like this, and obviously low light performance, because everybody talks about micro Four Thirds not being fantastic in low light situations. So having a pro lens like this at this price point at 2.8, consistent aperture straight across, was enticing. And the first thing I noticed obviously is the EVF, how beautiful this is. It's very smooth, very accurate, and just found the camera system overall to be extremely responsive. Now, it is a very small camera, which I have larger hands, and I was asking if they had the vertical grip, but they do not, unfortunately, at least for this review unit here. So I definitely would opt for a vertical grip if I could with this lens. I mean, not that the lens is heavy, it just makes it a little bit easier because my pinky doesn't seem to have a home on this, but again, it's micro Four Thirds, so I'm not really going to complain about that. But the subject detection was interesting to me. It is very sticky and it's very accurate. Is it at the same level when we're talking about people now, not animals, but people as, let's say, Sony, Nikon, Canon, etc.? And I would say it's very, very close. It does give you the option, of course, you can change the various different subjects that it sees, and you can use the joystick to do that. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it's a little bit off, but I did find it to be consistent and confidence inspiring, which is a good thing. But what I enjoyed was the stabilization, especially at lower shutter speeds and at, when I'm shooting in low light, because at this 8.5 stops that this camera gives you, or up to 8.5 stops, I should say, plus the stabilization inside the lens, it locked on great and I had no issues. And I was pleasantly surprised at just how good this system is. And I love the colors coming out of this. They were beautiful. They were neutral, but beautiful, rich where I want them to be. There's no sort of color cast that threw me off in any way, shape, or form. It was a really nice image quality. And the low light performance was actually quite good. Yes, you're going to see some ISO creeping up. But ISO doesn't really bother me because nowadays we have, software that can take care of that. It'll clear all that up, no issues. And actually I found the grain to be very acceptable. And wasn't like looking at it cringing like I would hear other people talk about when it comes to low light performance with micro Four Thirds. I didn't have that. And the images were beautiful and sharp. And this internal focus throw here from 50 to 200 is very, very short. And the thing that I liked about this was the weight. It's not heavy. And as I'm walking around these streets of Chinatown, and it's crowded and you're bumping into people on accident, of course, you're trying to move through things. When you've got a very big camera system, it can get in the way. But this wasn't that at all. Even with this 50 to 200, I was happy. And as you've seen from some of the sample images here, the image quality is there. There is a removable tripod collar here, which I don't think you really need. I've been rocking without the tripod collar the entire time, and yeah, no issues at all with that. In terms of the features and the buttons and everything else like that, you've got everything there from AF to manual focus, on and off with the IS, You got different presets on there, obviously your focal range, all that's included, plus a ton of function buttons. This is designed for that sports wildlife, photographer that needs all that access right there. There's nothing negative to say about this lens except price point is up there, but it's a 50 to 200 f 2.8 or 100 to 400 f 2.8 if you want to equate it to full frame, and that makes it very enticing. So now I want to talk about going to the zoo with this. Now, again, this is not like going into the wild and waiting in the bushes, waiting for a bird to fly around, or, being in the safari, waiting for a lion or a cheetah to come across the frame and capture it. It's a little bit different, right? More controlled. And again, it was the weight that really just impressed me of just how comfortable this is to carry around, especially when you are capturing animals and you have to wait. Because sometimes you're waiting for an animal to wake up, or maybe you're waiting for an animal to move into position or to get a reaction or to get a look. It takes time, it takes patience. And having a lighter system like this makes that a lot easier. And again, the image quality is absolutely beautiful coming out of this lens, out of this sensor. If I don't tell you it's Micro Four Thirds, you don't know. And that's something that I think impressed me the most out of this is just how good the image quality can be. Now, one of the cons will be is the cropping factor, because it is 20 megapixels. You can't crop in as much as you could, let's say, on a 45 or 50 megapixel image, and fair enough, okay? But if you've got the right focal length and having a lens like this does give you some reach, that's gonna give you a lot of play. And you can crop in a bit and still maintain image quality, and obviously use software to enhance it if you want to do that. But I was really happy with the overall performance, and autofocus was just, with animals, I would venture to say it's even a little bit better than people. Again, could be user error, because I only have the system for a week and a half, 2 weeks, so I don't have a lot of time with it. I would say 80 to 90% of my shots were there. I didn't find an issue with this camera. If someone said, would you recommend it? I would say yes. But I would recommend it with an asterisk next to it. And that'd be like, what are you going to do with your camera? If you're looking to be a hybrid content creator, let's say photography and videography, you might be limited on the video side of things with this. If you're photography only and you want to do action, wildlife, that kind of photography, yes, I would say heavily consider this, especially for the size, the price point for the body and what you get inside of it, and the size of the lenses and the optics. I think you're going to be very, very happy with it. So with that, let's talk about some of the things I wish were improved on this. This flip out rotatable display. Now, I know they've added video codecs inside of this up to 4K 60, and you can shoot in log and all that kind of stuff. But this is not a videographer's camera. This is a photographer's camera. So I would have rather have seen a tilting display on this, or maybe some Foley articulation, tilt up and down, swivel in and out, just to make it easier, because I don't see a lot of photographers flipping this out to take the photo, number one. Number two, while the menu system has improved over the Mark I, from what I understand, it is a very different language, and you don't know what certain settings are, and it makes it a bit challenging to use. In the first, I had to watch reviews and tutorials to figure it out what means what. There's just so much packed in this camera for the price point. It's a very good buy in that aspect, but there's a lot to take in. And I guarantee most of you out there will probably use 40, maybe 50% of what this camera is capable of on a day-to-day basis. That's just my assessment. Grip-wise is good. Just wish I had the vertical grip or the battery grip. It's micro HDMI on the back of it. Again, I don't probably use HDMI for this, but it's just something to say out of it. But yeah, outside of that, I like it. I like the system. I like what it has to offer. I think it's very attractive. And I think for the right user, Micro Four Thirds still makes sense in 2026. But it's becoming much more of a niche system with the advancements of full frame as the years go on and the months go on. So how long will this last? How long will this be relevant in the marketplace? I don't know. But I know there's a big community. I understand the love. I understand the attraction. I had the extra funds to splurge on a photography-centric, wildlife, birding, sports camera. This would be one I'd consider. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe. Thank you for the support. Greatly appreciate it. And I'll chat to you all very, very soon.